We all have bodies, but very few of us understand how they actually work. There's also this weird dialogue that the body and human anatomy is a topic that only doctors are allowed to speak on, which is really interesting because even most doctors don't understand the basic human functions of the body. Just for the record, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, and despite my blonde hair, I actually do have some brain cells up here. Everything that I share here is things that I had to learn based off of my firsthand experiences, what I was going through, things that I needed to understand. So now let's talk about the body. And to make it really easy to understand, I'm going to use an analogy where I compare the body to a computer. Now, on a computer, you can run a bunch of programs, you can process information at the same time, you can download large files, upload images, chat, play around on social media, create YouTube videos, and make them cute. And as you do all of these things, your computer is working for you until it starts to slow down and maybe even eventually die. Our human bodies are literally the same way. Our human bodies are running programs to keep us alive at all times. We have hormone programs that control our sleep, our fertility, our digestion. We have cognitive programs that help us manage our thoughts, our memory, our problem-solving skills. We have immune programs. Those are protecting us from infections and helping us to heal. We have cardiovascular programs with our heart. They help manage our blood pressure, our heart rate. We have metabolic programs. This is how we process our food, how we convert food into energy, how we maintain our weight. We have sensory programs that's processing what we see, what we hear, what we feel. At any given moment, our bodies are running heaps of programs, doing the absolute most to keep us alive, happy, healthy, and thriving. But generally speaking, as a society, we are disconnected from our bodies. And also, generally speaking, as a society, we are not happy, healthy, or thriving. As someone who is self-proclaimed alive, I also know that before I started to work with my body, I wasn't feeling very alive. And I don't think that, generally speaking, society is feeling very alive. And that's why I make these videos, to help people be happy, healthy, alive, and thriving. Don't forget to click subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend, drop a comment below. Alternatively, give it a thumbs down if you don't like it, say it with your chest, but just say it nicely. You don't have to be mean if you're disagreeing with me. Can't we disagree without being mean to each other? So our bodies are literally always talking to us. Our bodies constantly send us signals, and those signals are our body trying to communicate with us. For example, our body might be like, hey, one of my cognitive functions isn't operating at 100%, and that's going to show up for us as a headache in real life. Instead of listening to that headache as a signal from our body, instead of trying to dig deeper and understand hey, what is the reason that I have this headache, we reach for a Tylenol. We look to control it. Maybe our circadian function is off a little bit and we're having afternoon energy crashes. We drink a coffee instead of listening to that signal and trying to understand why we're having an afternoon energy crash. Now, some of the programs that our body is running are detoxification programs. This goes from our lymphatic system to our digestive and urinary systems to our respiratory systems, or programs if we're still sticking with the computer analogy. What I find to be really cool is that our bodies were literally designed to detox. And it truly is a miracle when you think about it. When you think of all the functions that go into this body, it is really actually amazing. But now the elephant in the room is our toxic modern lifestyle. Simply put, our body's detoxification programs are overloaded. Our detox programs cannot handle the rate at which we are exposed to toxins in our modern lifestyle. And as if it couldn't get any worse, we haven't been taught how to properly care for and work with our body in order to support these programs operating at 100%. Many of the things that we do on a daily basis, thinking that they are good for our health and thinking that they are good for our body, are actually really harming our body. Our modern lifestyles expose us to this sort of malware that is going to attack our programs. Phthalates and parabens, artificial sweeteners and trans fat, the processed foods and microplastics, synthetic hormones and antibiotics in our dairy and meat supply, chemicals in our drinking water, high fructose corn syrup and seed oil, PFOAs, artificial fragrance, endocrine disruptors, blue light, EMF, so much more. There is so much. This list could go on forever. These are just like the ones that we're exposed to on a daily basis. And as a side note, hit subscribe if you're interested about learning these things, because I'm going to be talking more about all of them and like why we want to stay away from them, how we can cohabitate with them and not be obsessive and be like the crunchy mom that no one really likes. Now, in 2018, I was in Lyon in France. It is, as a side note, a very pretty city and the food is amazing in Lyon. And what does this have to do with the body and computers? Just listen, all right? I'm almost there. I was staying in this really cute, very old boutique hotel. And when I tell you very old, I mean 500, 600 years old. The electricity just wasn't there. And when you're adding this like shaky electricity with my adapter that I had from my computer, the power just wasn't there. And that year I was working on a really big campaign for American Express and Wells Fargo. I had a lot of video work that I was doing, recording and uploading huge files. I was editing huge files. And even with my computer plugged in, I was sitting there and watching my battery go down. I was using so much juice from those programs, my computer could not charge fast enough to keep up with how much I was using at the same time. And that's basically what our modern lifestyles are doing to our body. The modern lifestyle takes so much from our bodies and it overworks our bodily programs so much. We're in like a hamster wheel of toxins, and no matter how hard we try, we cannot fully recharge. What happens when the system programs of our body are overwhelmed, working overtime, stressed out, exhausted? Our body starts to get irritated, overwhelmed, stressed out, exhausted. And what happens then? We feel it. We feel it in our body. Our body's programs being stressed out and overworked is something that we feel in real time. It is our body sending a signal to us that something is wrong. I used to suffer from anxiety. I was prescribed Xanax, and I would have that anxious feeling come up, and I didn't understand that that anxious feeling was a feeling that my body was sending a signal to me to be like, hey, something's off here, and I didn't like that feeling. I wanted to control that feeling. I wanted it to go away, so when that anxiety would come up, a Xanax pill would go down. And now I haven't taken a Xanax in almost 5 years because I started listening to what my body was telling me. And I started listening to the signals that my body was sending me. And as a side note, because I'm really proud of this, in that time frame as well, I also worked with my body to cure my asthma. I was diagnosed with asthma when I was 3 years old, and now at 36, I haven't used an inhaler in over 3 years. I cured my asthma after 27 years of chronic asthma and always needing an inhaler, always having an inhaler on me. I didn't know how capable our bodies were to heal until I started working with my body to heal my body. We should be looking to our bodies as an ally, as a partner. We should be showing up 50-50 with our body. Our body communicates something with us, sends us a signal, and then we process that information and we take action to put whatever steps in motion need to be put in motion. But instead, we have traded our connection with our bodies for cheap stuff and cheaper entertainment. Cheap, fast, easy, convenient stuff that is only killing us and our planet in the process. Now, sorry I brought this party down, but not all hope is lost because our bodies are resilient, our earth is resilient, and we have free will. And when you know better, you can do better. What we aren't taught and what we don't realize is there's actually 3 voices in our head at any given moment: our mind, our body, and our soul. When you choose to cultivate a strong relationship with your mind, with your body, with your soul, with your intuition, you can begin to distinguish which voice is which, and then you can work to harmonize those voices. The harmonization of your mind, your body, and your soul is what New Age spiritualists refer to as Alignment. Before I found my alignment, there was a constant battle going on between my mind, my body, and my soul. And that battle between the voices in my head would manifest as so many different issues in my physical body. As we've already talked about, it manifested as a lot of anxiety, stress, overthinking, worrying, doubt, fatigue, depression, chronic pain, insomnia, digestive issues, mood swings, hormonal imbalances, weight gain, gut health issues, skin problems, lack of focus, low self-esteem. That is just to name a few, and I could honestly keep going. In finding my alignment, I have been able to cure all of those things. And it's not to say that my life is now perfect, that nothing bad ever happens to me. It's not that at all. It's just that I'm working with my body to keep myself alive, happy, healthy, and thriving. When your body's programs aren't so overloaded and so bogged down, you're able to navigate the shark-infested waters of life a little more skillfully. I share these videos in hopes of inspiring others to learn to distinguish and harmonize their own voices between their mind, body, and soul. If you're watching this video and I inspired you and you're like, oh my God, where do I start? I'm going to link a video above called How to Strengthen Your Intuition, because a strong intuition is very important. I'm also going to link a free workshop that I have about intention. I'm going to put that in the description below. It is 25 minutes that can change your life. Just saying. I'm also going to link a playlist up in the cards of my toolbox of practices, the practices that have helped me to cultivate a strong relationship between my mind, body, and soul. Just because these work for me doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to work for you. And I'm not looking to conform you to all of my practices. I'm not looking to get you to be interested in everything that I'm interested in. The world would be really boring if we were all the same. I'm just looking to inspire you to find what works for you, the same way that I found what works for me. I'm also going to put a bunch of links in the description of this video to other of my videos that I think are kind of on brand with the topic of this one, as well as a bunch of articles on my website if you would prefer to read about this. Thank you for coming back to my channel. My name is Jackie, and I teach people how to find their alignment, how to level up mentally, physically, and spiritually so that they can manifest whatever dream life they want aesthetically. I make new videos every week, so don't forget to click subscribe, and I will see you next week.